There are two main drivers of asset class returns: inflation and growth. The most important thing is that you develop your own principles and ideally write them down, especially if you are working with others. If you can't successfully do something, don't think you can tell others how it should be done. To make money in the markets, you have to think independently and be humble. Truth, more precisely, an accurate understanding of reality, is the essential foundation for producing good outcomes. Choose your habits well. Habit is probably the most powerful tool in your brain's toolbox. It is far more common for people to allow ego to stand in the way of learning. Listening to uninformed people is worse than having no answers at all. If you're not failing, you're not pushing your limits. And if you're not pushing your limits, you're not maximizing your potential. He who lives by the crystal ball will lead shattered glass. I think that the first thing is you should have a strategic asset allocation mix that assumes that you don't know what the future is going to hold. Every game has principles that successful players master to achieve winning results. So does life. To be good, something must operate consistently with the laws of reality and contribute to the evolution of the whole. That is what is most rewarded. Be wary of the arrogant intellectual who comments from the stands without having played on the field. People with good work habits have to-do lists that are reasonably prioritized, and they make themselves do what needs to be done. I came to see that people's greatest weaknesses are the flip sides of their greatest strengths. The biggest mistake investors make is to believe that what happened in the recent past is likely to persist. I believe that all organizations basically have two types of people: those who work to be part of a mission, and those who work for a paycheck. When you think that it's too hard, remember that in the long run, doing the things that will make you successful is a lot easier than being unsuccessful. The greatest tragedy of mankind is people who have opinions that are wrong. Idealists who are not well grounded in reality create problems, not progress. Almost nothing can stop you from succeeding if you have flexibility and self-accountability. By and large, life will give you what you deserve. Most fundamental work principle: make your passion and your work one and the same, and do it with people you want to be with. Great people are hard to find, so make sure you think about how to keep them. People who confuse what they wish were true with what is really true create distorted pictures of reality that make it impossible for them to make the best choices. Don't mistake possibilities for probabilities. Anything is possible. It's the probabilities that matter. Everything must be weighed in terms of its likelihood and prioritized. Recognize that having an effective idea meritocracy requires that you understand the merit of each person's ideas. Great is better than terrible, and terrible is better than mediocre, because terrible at least gives life flavor. Remember that most people are happiest when they are improving and doing the things that suit them naturally and help them advance. To test if you are worrying too much about looking good, observe how you feel when you find out you've made a mistake or don't know something. Remember that in great partnerships, consideration and generosity are more important than money. Nature gave us Spain as a messaging device to tell us that we are approaching, or that we have exceeded, are limits in some way. Because our educational system is hung up on precision, the art of being good at approximations is insufficiently valued. This impedes conceptual thinking. Remember that weaknesses don't matter if you find solutions. Don't let the little things divide you when your agreement on the big things should bind you. Experience taught me how invaluable it is to reflect on and write down my decision-making criteria whenever I made a decision. So I got in the habit of doing that. If your objective is to be as good as you can be, then you're going to want criticism. More than anything else, what differentiates people who live up to their potential from those who don't is a willingness to look at themselves and others objectively. You must not let your need to be right be more important than your need to find out what's true. The more you think you know, the more closed-minded you'll be. Mistakes are the path to progress. Not being controlled by an emotion helps to see things at a higher level. It's more important to do big things well than to do the small things perfectly. Most of life's greatest opportunities come out of moments of struggle. It's up to you to make the most of these tests of creativity and character. If you don't own gold, you know neither history nor economics. In order to be successful, you're betting against the consensus, and you have to be right. The average man tends to buy high and sell low. If you are not aggressive, you are not going to make money. And if you are not defensive, you are not going to keep money. The people who work for you should constantly challenge you. Don't hire people just to fit the first job they will do. Hire people you want to share your life with. The greatest gift you can give someone is the power to be successful. Giving people the opportunity to struggle rather than giving them the things they are struggling for will make them stronger. Pain plus reflection equals progress. I just want to be right. I don't care if the right answer comes from me. Don't just pay attention to your job, but pay attention to how your job will be done if you are no longer around. Remember that the only purpose of money is to get you what you want. So think hard about what you value and put it above money. If you don't look at yourself and think, wow, how stupid I was a year ago, then you must not have learned much in the last year. The happiest people discover their own nature and match their life to it. Demand is best measured in terms of spending. Don't worry about looking good, worry about achieving your goals. Success comes from knowing what you don't know, more than coming from what you do know. Meditation, more than anything in my life, was the biggest ingredient of whatever success I've had.